Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me record our appreciation of Mr. Amit Sachdev for his initiative in bringing several stakeholders collectively on the CSR Live Week platform. Endeavors such as these will, I am sure, lead to embedding CSR into the DNA of corporates over the long term. That said, I am happy to reach out to all of you and to share my thoughts on inclusive growth and how business houses can support the process. In my conversation, I will focus on, firstly, how increasingly we see inclusive growth happening. Secondly, why doing good makes good business sense. And thirdly, what is the way forward for corporates based on our own experience. So, let me begin with the macro picture. At the outset, we must acknowledge that since the last 3 decades, India as a nation has been successful in pulling out a significant number of people from below the poverty line. The poverty headcount ratios have been declining progressively since independence. Over the last decade, there has been an unprecedented decline in poverty. The proportion of people living below the official poverty line has fallen from 37.2% in 2004-05 to 21.9% in 2012. On all social development indicators, we have made progress. The infant mortality rate has come down dramatically. More women today deliver babies in hospitals than ever before, even in the rural areas. The latest National Sample Survey Organization indicated that the growth of rural household consumption has been at a faster clip than that of urban consumption between July 2011 to June 2012 compared to 2009-10. In a sense, the gap between the rural and urban living pattern is reducing. This is also substantiated in the just released India Rural Development Report. It highlights a significant shift to non-farm labor in rural areas. Furthermore, the report says that rural poverty has reduced from over 40% to just 26%. An encouraging aspect is the growing number of women in the village panchayats. I am told that 1.2 million women have filled the elected positions in village councils. There is hope, and I say this from our own group experience. Idea Cellular, which is our telecom company, has over 128 million customers. Of these, 69% are rural customers. In fact, mobile phones are a great leveler. Another interesting fact, according to the first census of slum households released by the Census of India, more than 63% of slum households had mobile phones. Again, I believe that with the right focus on inclusive growth, the government, corporates and citizens working hand in hand, and the UID Aadhaar project happening in every nook and cranny of the country, in the foreseeable future, a more equitable society is not just a pipe dream. The UID Aadhaar initiative will definitely lift the poor and help them get a better life. Along with NREGA, the National Food Security Bill should bring in more equity and take the social reform agenda forward. The Government of India has an ambitious vision to bring in inclusive growth. The current budget allocation for development projects is around rupees 2,137 billion. Even as there is much to cheer, we still have a long way to go to move completely to inclusive growth. Regrettably, India continues to be home to the largest concentration of people living in poverty. We all have to work collectively to remove the word poverty from India's dictionary. And this brings me to my next point, which is that by doing good, actually corporations can do well. I strongly advocate CSR engagement. I strongly advocate the percolation of the benefits of capitalism through the CSR route to lift people out of poverty in our country. And honestly, it is worth its while every which way. The reputational lever, the ability to attract, retain, and energize talent, the tremendous goodwill of consumers, the pride that the shareholders and investors take, and above all, garnering of community support, all are the direct outcome of genuine CSR engagement. Let me now move on to what is the way forward. It is imperative that a social vision based on the felt needs of the underprivileged communities is evolved. When collectively done, it works best for the communities as they become engaged partners. Embedding the social vision into the business vision is a must. In doing so, the top leadership's commitment is assured. It also directly mainstreams CSR into the businesses. This is what we have done at our group. Almost 17 years ago, we set up the Aditya Birla Center for Community Initiatives and Rural Development, which I spearhead across the globe globally. The center is anchored by our Group Executive President, Corporate Communications and CSR, Dr. Pragya Ram, with a 250-strong dedicated team of CSR professionals. The work our teams do to make a difference to the lives of the marginalized is most touching. We have an articulated vision, which is to actively contribute to the social and economic development of the communities in which we operate. In so doing, build a better, sustainable way of life for the weaker sections of society. Our social vision is integrated into our business vision. I believe a razor-sharp strategy for execution, factoring milestones, targets, performance management, and accountability is essential. Through focused endeavors in healthcare, education, sustainable livelihood, and infrastructure support, corporates can work to alleviate poverty and bridge the divide. This has been our experience at the Aditya Birla Group. Yet another point that I wish to make is that what gets measured gets done. It is critical to measure the impact of the work done among communities. Getting the work audited by a reputed external agency is necessary for two reasons. Firstly, an external party lends credence to the whole process, and secondly, based on the findings, corporates can make mid-course corrections wherever needed, see if there are any gaps, and then plug the holes. As I mentioned earlier, the government has allocated enormous funds for the social and economic development of the underprivileged. We find that leveraging government schemes and collaborating with them helps extend the scale and scope of CSR activities. Working in tandem with government agencies enables enlarge the project reach several-fold. Community engagement is one area where a greater push helps. It would be nice if the pull factor is greater than the push factor. I feel we owe the development of our country to ourselves and to our people. Let me conclude with our definition of inclusive growth. It is an India free from poverty, an India of inclusive growth, an India where every person realizes his or her optimal potential, an India where every human being lives a life of dignity, an India that can hold a head high in the hegemony of nations. Mull over it, we must make this happen. Thank you.